2, you found this because you're on my Facebook. There's absolutely no need to introduce myself. Why did I just introduce myself? There was no need for that. No need whatsoever. But anywho, what's up? And a very happy Monday. Hope everybody's had a fantastic Monday across all of North Alabama, Southern, Middle Tennessee. Beginning to see some change across the Tennessee Valley as we head into your Tuesday. We're talking about the threat for strong and severe thunderstorms across the Tennessee Valley. At this point, only a couple of folks watching. Hopefully we'll get some more folks to join in as we go through our little discussion. This isn't going to be too terribly long, but I did want to just have a little bit of a discussion as far as the severe weather threat is concerned across the Tennessee Valley as we head into your Tuesday. So thank you all so much for joining in. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please put those down in the comment section and I will do my best to answer those in a timely fashion. Talking about a little bit of rain back across northeast Mississippi. Otherwise, it does look like we are dry across the Tennessee Valley. Maybe we get a couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms over the next couple of hours. But at this point, that activity is going to be somewhat difficult to come by, right? We're losing a lot of our daytime heating, so at this point, it's going to be difficult to get much in the way of any thunderstorm activity. Jennifer says, dreading tomorrow. You know what, Jennifer? I'm not looking forward to the day either, but for me, I don't look forward to it because it just means I have an extra busy work day. But it's good for you that I have an extra busy work day. I never want... I know a lot of people don't necessarily like severe weather and get a lot of storm anxiety, but understand that it is my job to kind of curb the storm anxiety the best that I can. So instead of dreading it, I know this is going to sound really, really cliche, but instead of dreading any chance for severe weather, just try your best to be prepared. I think genuinely you will find that if you are more prepared, then days with potential severe weather are definitely going to be a little bit easier. And again, a lot of that pressure ends up getting put on me, but that's okay. That's kind of what I signed up to do. That's why I do this. It's why I sit here and do the Facebook Lives and I stand in front of the green screen and do the talking and the hand motions and the clicker and all that. And that's why I do what I do, so that everybody else is prepared and that hopefully I can take away a lot of that dread. Amber, be prepared, not scared. That is cliche, but also accurate all at the same time. When you're super scared, get prepared. Oh, no, that's a good one. I've never actually heard that one before. I like that. Good job. Amber is thus far winning the conversation this evening. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for watching. Let's look at current temperatures and dew points across North Alabama, Southern, Middle Tennessee. If you're going to be heading out this evening, if you're going to be stepping outside this evening, maybe the dog needs to go for a last-minute walk. I wonder if my wife's going to take the dog for a walk. It's going to be warm and humid. Look at these. Dew points in the upper 60s and lower 70s. So temperatures on the left, dew points are going to be on the right. Dew points are going to be the slightly smaller number. Dew points currently sitting in the upper 60s and lower 70s, but air temperatures are sitting in the mid and upper 70s, still close to 80 degrees. And we do have a number of temperature outages. I don't know why, but we do have a number of temperature outages, but you still get the point that the dew points are in the upper 60s and lower 70s, and dew points are in the mid and upper 70s, still pushing 80 degrees. It feels absolutely disgusting outside, and we're going to maintain the disgusting feeling probably for about the next 24 hours or so. And that's going to add fuel to the fire when it comes to the overall threat for severe weather. Jennifer says, thank you for keeping us up to date. I can handle hurricanes. I've been there, done that too. But even after 4 years here, I still get anxious over severe weather. And truly, you're not alone. A lot of people get really anxious over severe weather. And again, I try and curb that the best I can. But I also understand that my success rate is probably never going to be 100%. It feels like summer outside. Yeah, 100%. Totally feels like summer. Honestly, it feels like it's like late June or early July across the Tennessee Valley. Amber says South Huntsville and Shared. Oh, thank you so much. Darla says Athens, and Heather's in Geraldine. And Jennifer is in Grove Oak. If y'all don't mind giving the video a little bit of a share, I would greatly appreciate that. Helps me get the word out. Maybe we can attract some more people in to watch us and join our discussion. Now, there is going to be a little bit of relief as far as the heat and the humidity is concerned. It's going to come in the form of a cold front. And at the end of the day, the cold front is going to bring relief to the Tennessee Valley. And so we're focusing on that first, and then we'll kind of get into the main part of our discussion. Ashley, always watching from Moulton. Thank you so much. Always appreciate that. At the end of the day, the core of the cold front is going to bring relief to the Tennessee Valley. We're going to temporarily ditch the heat and the humidity. We're going to trade it for some cooler air. And the cooler air is going to be timed such that we're going to bring in the cooler air just in time for Memorial Day weekend. I don't know if that's something you're excited about, but yeah, the cooler air is going to be here for Memorial Day weekend, which I'm kind of angry about. Normally, I would go to the Alabama Jubilee every year, but I am not going to be at the Alabama Jubilee this year. And that's a whole separate aside. There's a whole separate story, something that I'm really upset about. But I am not going to be at the Alabama Jubilee this year. And on the 1 year that I am not going to be at the Alabama Jubilee, it's not going to be hot. And never once was I graced with an Alabama Jubilee year where it was not hot. And this year, it does not look like it is going to be hot. And that kind of bums me out. On another note, if you are watching this Facebook Live on the FOX54 Facebook page, note that I will get to your comments probably after the fact. The primary stream here is on my page, Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. So understand that if you do post a comment, it might be a couple of minutes before I get to it. So, like I said, cold front. I'm going to move through the Tennessee Valley. At the core, the cold front is going to drop our temperatures as we head into the weekend, but it's also going to bring about the opportunity for strong and severe thunderstorms to the Tennessee Valley. So, a strong spring cold front is going to move through the Tennessee Valley Tuesday night, bringing the chance for severe weather to the Tennessee Valley. And I call this a strong spring cold front because I kind of want to reiterate the fact that we are still in the middle of our spring severe weather season. The spring severe weather season is not over just yet. Now, it typically dies down quite a bit in the month of May, but it is still May at the end of the day. Yes, I understand that we're a week away from Memorial Day, but it is still May at the end of the day. So we are still within our spring severe weather season. Once we get to June, and then the spring severe weather season really begins to die down. Matthew watching from Greenbrier, Joy watching from Newmarket, home of the world's greatest barbecue. And I will forever die on that rock. That Newmarket has the world's greatest barbecue. All modes of severe weather are going to be possible across the Tennessee Valley. Then we kind of get to the asterisk, if you will. The asterisk. Is that the proper way of saying that? The little star, if you hit Shift and 8 on the keyboard, asterisk, I believe is the proper way. Supercells could develop out ahead of the cold front, increasing the tornado threat across the Tennessee Valley. Individualized supercells could potentially develop out ahead of that main line that's going to be directly associated with the cold front. So we would kind of get 2 rounds, if you will, if the supercells actually develop. The first round would be the individualized supercells that are going to be able to tap into the energy that's available, and then we would get that main line of showers and thunderstorms that would move through the Tennessee Valley shortly following the supercells. And so Tuesday is going to be a FOX54 weather impact alert day. Timing there is going to run 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Tuesday. Obviously, we're talking about the chance for strong and severe thunderstorms. Maybe at this point that goes a bit without saying. Now, you should have the FOX54 app downloaded. You can get the forecast on there. It'll send you push alerts at different things you might need to know. And you should always know your severe weather plan. And of course, you want to make sure you have multiple ways of receiving your severe weather alerts. You know, a weather radio is going to be great. Again, your smartphone is going to be great. And then, of course, there's always TV as well. My youngest turns 2 and has an outside birthday party. So I'm just hoping for a nice day on Saturday. Saturday I can do, Megan. That is not a problem. The birthday party will be rather unproblematic Tuesday. I mean, it'll probably be a very rambunctious 2-year-old birthday party, as I imagine most toddler birthday parties are, but it will not have any sort of weather concerns. The weather this Saturday will be fantastic. So let's get into our Storm Prediction Center outlook and enhanced risk for severe weather across the Tennessee Valley. Normally there's a little more going on here Normally we're talking about 2 or so different risk areas across the Tennessee Valley. Not this time. This time we're just talking about the enhanced risk for severe weather across all of North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Let's break down the big concerns, okay? The primary concern, definitely going to be the threat for gusty, damaging winds. And we're talking about wind gusts 65 to 70 miles per hour at times. On a more local level, we could be talking about wind gusts 70 to 75 miles per hour. Now, completely independent of any sort of tornado threat that may exist across the Tennessee Valley, if you're talking about an isolated wind gust of 70 or 75 miles per hour, wind gusts of that magnitude can actually do a lot of damage. And so when you're talking about damaging winds as the primary concern, you're definitely talking about a serious threat because, like I said, wind gusts of 70 or 75 miles per hour can do considerable damage. Samantha says, I know we're talking about Tuesday, but could you also say what the weather will be like overnight? Of course. Maybe an isolated shower as we head into the overnight. A couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible, but the threat for severe weather tonight is practically non-existent. Remember what we got last night? Woke me up about 3 o'clock in the morning, where we had a little bit of thunder, a little bit of lightning. Maybe some of us get a little bit of that tonight, but the overall threat for any sort of activity tonight is going to be much lower. Our secondary concerns across the Tennessee Valley, Jennifer, let's see. I am hoping we don't have any Sand Mountain. I would love that too. Truly, I would love it if we did not have any Sand Mountain magic. And we had magical Sand Mountain magic last week, 2 weeks ago, I believe. I believe it was 2 weeks ago. We had Sand Mountain magic. I hate Sand Mountain magic. I do not like Sand Mountain magic. Our secondary concerns across the Tennessee Valley going to be the threat for some large hail that could be embedded within that main line directly associated with that cold front. And then not only are we talking about the individualized supercells, but we're also talking about a couple of tornadoes being possible within that main line of showers and thunderstorms. So that's something we're also going to want to be mindful of. Really 2 different opportunities for potential tornadic activity across the Tennessee Valley. So we can kind of take this and break it down area by area. Now, this is for the onset of severe weather, and right now it looks like we're probably leaning towards the early part of this as opposed to the later part for showers and thunderstorms to move into the Tennessee Valley. Thank you. Last night's storms made sleeping in northwest Alabama very difficult. Trust me, it made sleeping in southern Madison County very difficult. 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. across northwest Alabama, Lauderdale, Colbert, Franklin, and Lawrence counties. 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. across the I-65 corridor. That would be Limestone, Madison, Morgan, and Coleman counties in North Alabama. Giles and Lincoln counties up across southern Middle Tennessee. And then 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. Across northeast Alabama, Jackson, DeKalb, and Marshall counties. Now, again, this is for the onset of severe weather in any given location, but it does look like we're probably running towards the earlier part of this time frame, probably the 4 to 6 range across northwest Alabama, the 6 to 8 range across the I-65 corridor, and then the 8 to 10 range across northeast Alabama. So that kind of puts that into a little bit of perspective. So here's Futurecast as we head into the lunch hour, trying to bring in a couple of isolated showers. I don't necessarily agree with this. You can kind of see Futurecast there picking up on just a couple of rogue showers. I don't really think that that's going to end up being the case. But watch what happens as we head into the early and middle part of the evening. Now we're beginning to see some different pops of activity develop across the Tennessee Valley. And this is what we could be talking about as far as individualized supercells are concerned. You kind of get these little pops of energy that could develop between 5 and 6. And when these little individualized areas begin to pop up and develop, they're going to really begin to blossom really quickly. They're going to tap into a lot of available energy that is going to exist within our atmosphere, specifically over the Tennessee Valley. And so if these little individualized areas begin to pop and develop, they're going to develop really, really fast. And that's where we're going to get the chance for a couple of isolated tornadoes. Connie says, joining now from Athens, we appreciate you taking the time to answer questions. Of course. Happy to do it, Connie. Well, at least the timeline is earlier than a lot of other times. I know, I get that, Jennifer. I don't like the overnight events either. So as far as timing is concerned, yeah, I am also going to be glad that this one's occurring at a reasonable point in the afternoon. 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening. Again, kind of beginning to see these individualized supercells really develop and blossom. And this model has maintained a level of consistency in trying to bring those individualized supercells into the Tennessee Valley ahead of that main line of showers and thunderstorms that is going to directly be associated with that cold front. And like I was saying, if these individualized supercells really do blossom and really do develop, that's going to increase the threat for anything tornadic across the Tennessee Valley. 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, now those individualized supercells, if they develop, are beginning to merge with a line of showers and thunderstorms. And that line of showers and thunderstorms is pushing its way through North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. And then we get to the later part of the evening into the overnight, 11:30, 12 o'clock in the morning now on Wednesday. This activity is moving out of the Tennessee Valley, and we're going to begin to dry out. And from there, we're going to dry out rather quickly. We're going to lose a lot of the cloud cover through the overnight. And then by the time we get to the Wednesday morning commute, it does look like we are going to be nice and dry. And from there, Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening actually ends up looking quite nice. I think it's going to be a really nice day. There are not going to be any strong storms tonight. Ignore that. I need to change it. 71 degrees. Have a good look at the next 7 days. 85 for your Tuesday, 80 on Wednesday. Much cooler Thursday and Friday. 77, 72 Thursday and Friday. Heading into your Memorial Day weekend, I've only got 73 for Saturday, Alabama Jubilee Day. 77 on Sunday, day 2, Alabama Jubilee. And then 77 on Monday. Monday, of course, being Memorial Day itself. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm going to head off of here, get some other things done before Fox 54 News at 9 o'clock. But I appreciate you watching. And if you have come a little late and you still have questions, you can always put those in the comment section and I'll get to them after the fact. In the meantime, have a great evening.